Hi, this is Tom Dumoulin and you're watching UNGB.
Welcome back to the second part of this press conference for the RideLondon-Surrey Classic here on Facebook. Get your questions in the comments below. I've got plenty already for my next two guests here at the press conference. First, to my left, Team Sky's speed merchant ELIA VIVIANI, the current Olympic Omnium champion, who wears shoes to match as well, I can tell you, and also has a record of 44 professional wins to his name, including one at his home Grand Tour, the Giro d'Italia. ELIA is a man in form who's also taken 2 stages at the Tour of Austria earlier this month. And just the other side of ELIA is Trek Segafredo's JASPER STUYVEN, hailing from Belgium, of course. Jasper, the latest in a long line of Belgian one-day specialists who shot to fame last year by taking the Sprinters Classic, Brussels-Kern, a race he very much likes and always seems to be at the sharp end of these days. Both veterans of all 3 Grand Tours, it has to be said, although neither of them coming off the Tour de France this year. So, Elliot, that begs the question, are you feeling quite fresh, given that Michael Matthews, who we spoke to a bit earlier on, only finished racing around France just last weekend?
Yeah, it's totally different. No, when you come out of Grand Tour, you have if you have a good rest period, you're feeling super strong. But in the first 2 weeks or 10 days after the Grand Tour, and like Matthews wins your stage and green jersey, maybe you are not motivated like in the Grand Tour. And I have fresh energy. The last race is Tour of Austria is 2 weeks ago, and I spent a good time at home to do the good preparation for the last part of the season. It's a part of a season where I take a lot of results in the last few years. So the biggest goal is take more win I can from now to the finish of this season.
And tomorrow's race is huge. Now in the UCI World Tour as well. I know you like racing in Britain very much, so how have you built up to the London-Surrey Classic?
Racing Britain with Team Sky Jet is always special, no? So and with this Surrey Classic is a special one for me because the first time is in Olympic. I'm really young in 2012 to the Olympics Games, but yeah, this day I think is one of the amazing days I do on the bike because the people are on the road is unbelievable in all the course. And from that moment I really want every year to come back here to do this beautiful race because it's also good for my characteristics. So I never go really close to win. I do top 10 but not really close to win, and I hope tomorrow can be a good day for me.
Yeah, a lot of the fans in Britain love seeing on British roads, and you have some of the quickest legs going, which is obviously why you did so well in the Omnium. Jasper, you have done a Grand Tour this year. You raced at the Giro. What's life been like since the Tour of Italy?
Oh, I didn't do that much, that many races. My last race was the Nationals at the end of June, and after that I did a altitude camp in Pontresina, which is close to Livigno, which more people will be familiar with Livigno. So yeah, it's a little bit a question mark how I am after such a long period of training and without racing, but it's also an advantage because like you were talking before, it's even more fresh and even more motivated maybe than some guys that comes yeah, a little bit tired out of the tour.
But you were on the podium at the Nationals, so, and we all know how difficult it is racing in Belgium against other Belgians, so you must be feeling fairly strong.
Yeah, there was a good day, a good race, and yeah, I think it was a nice podium, and yeah, it's a long time ago, so back then I felt strong, and now I'm training, everything was going well, but racing is always different than training, and sometimes you come back to the first race immediately really good, and sometimes it takes a few days or a few races to get back where you want to be with the good race feeling. So yeah, we'll see tomorrow. I can tell tomorrow evening how it was.
Brussels-Kern, which you won last year, is the Sprinters Classic. You did very well again there this year as well. So that suggests that the parcours tomorrow in the London-Surrey Classic would absolutely suit your kind of riding.
Well, I have no idea because the only thing is the only thing I know from the course is just watching on the TV or watching on YouTube.
You haven't recce it yet?
I haven't raced here. I didn't do a recon here, so it's my first time racing in the UK in general. So it's all new. But from what the guys say that did it, and from what I see, it might be a course that fits me well. But also depends on the racing and. Even if you look to the previous years, a race is always different when it becomes a World Tour race.
Box Hill is like Alpe d'Huez. I'm sure Elia will agree. It has lots of switchbacks. It goes on forever. I think you'll enjoy that when you get there. Look, we've had loads of questions through already. David Plimmer asks ELIA VIVIANI, who is the biggest joker in the Sky team?
I think. Wout Poels is a good one.
Wout Poels,
yeah.
Okay.
And Kwiato, also Kwiato. Kwiato more in the race maybe.
Kwiatkowski.
Yeah,
yeah.
Kwiatkowski, yeah.
Neither of them are racing tomorrow, is that right? Or is Wout racing tomorrow?
No, I think he's the leader of Team Sky for Tour of Poland.
Yes.
Wout, and Kwiato today in the Classics
in San Sebastian. Yeah, and obviously he's just coming off the tour, so he's entitled to perhaps kick back a little bit. Who is going to be riding in support of your sprint finish?
We have a good team. We have Owen Dole, we have John Deepen, we have Theo Geogard, and Kenny Lisonde.
Yes.
Stannard.
Yeah.
And
Kenya maybe. Kenyuk as well.
Pete Kenyuk. Yeah,
so,
we have a really strong team.
Yeah, you do. So, a very British team as well.
Yeah. And I think this race is not 100% sprint, so we need to control. It's not easy to control because always when I do in Box Hill, from the Olympic and all the other race I do in London, Surrey Classic is a move in Box Hill. Sometimes it's a big move,
yes,
and you can't close. A few times we come really motivated to close the gap, but we don't finish in the full group sprints. So we hope to do a good move tomorrow. But yeah, tactically it's a good race because you need to understand if it's the time to put one guy in the move or if stay all together to close the gap. Yes, at this moment in Box Hill where you need to understand what you need to do as a team to win this race.
And of course, racing in the Olympics in 2012, you'll know that because that's where it all went ballistic, certainly to the detriment of Team GB at the time. A question for you, Jasper, and this is touching on what I mentioned before about doing the nationals. This is from Eric. How does it feel to be compared to Tom Bone and Greg van Avermaet as the next Belgian Classics rider?
I think I'm not the only one in Belgium. If you do well in some classics, they're gonna stay pretty fast, and then so I think it's not only me but also Oliver now, the Belgian champion, and then Yves Lampaert, Yves Benoit. I think it's just a good young generation that is there to try to win some monuments in the classics, and of course it's nice if they make if they look to you and say, okay, maybe you're the next Boden, but at the end you just want to get your own palmarès, and if it's even close to what he has won, it's already really nice.
If you win it tomorrow, you will be the next Boden because he won it last year, and there's a lot of fondness.
And maybe it's not good to win tomorrow because then it's even
more pressure. That's what you're saying. Okay, and what about Greg van Avermaet as well? Because he has really come into his own in the past couple of years. He is always there, and one of the few other riders who can really take the game to Peter Sagan, for example, over a lumpy course. Is he someone you look up to and admire and maybe talk to about racing as well?
I don't really admire some riders, and especially not when you're in the bunch with them, because if you get into the final with them, I also want to be them, not admire them. So of course what Greg has achieved after many years, getting only second, third, fourth, fifth places, and people were starting to say already he was never going to win something, and he just kept believing in himself, I guess, and now he won everything this Spring Classics. So it's just nice to see that you have guys who win from the moment they turn pro, and you have guys like Greg who's always there, never the big win, and then after a while keep fighting, you get it. So there's more than one way to get a nice palmarès.
I admire GVA, so we'll just leave it at that. You can race against him. Betsan asks Jasper, what is the most challenging stage that you have done in your professional career? Because you have completed all 3 Grand Tours, even though you're only 25.
Oh, it's a good question, actually. The thing is, yeah, in my opinion, it's always different, because there are days that you are mentally prepared to fight for the win, and then you maybe have to go really deep to make it over a little climb, or to also mentally makes it maybe a really hard day. And then of course you have the days like this year in the Giro, when you have the Mortirolo and 2 times Stelvio.
Yeah.
But in my case, you know, that day is going to be a really long day and more hard, just because you have to survive, but you're not competing for a win. So it's going to be physically a really hard day, but then mentally it's different, because mentally it's only the game of being that long on the bike. So it's hard to say one stage or one day. I think it's just different which goal you have in that stage. But in the 3 Grand Tours I did, I suffered in quite a lot.
Doing the Stelvio twice is even harder if you have to stop to go for the toilet. That's for sure. Referencing Tom de Moulin there. Tom asks you, Elia, what do you prefer, road racing or track racing? I bet you get asked this all the time.
Yeah. From the start of my career, I do both during the season, and for sure the road racing is my job, and is where I have the biggest goal. So now, from now, it's only about road for the next 2 years, but I never lose the chance to go on the track. Like a few weeks ago, I go to 16 days or some. I think I really enjoy when I go on the track, and but I know on the road it is a more important goal to win and to take. So I think I enjoy more when I go on the track, but I want to win a lot on the road, and I have a big goal now on the road.
I know a lot of cyclists who do both talk about going from track to road, and they talk about having their track legs on. You've got to get used to riding road again, but do you also find that you carry through the form, for example, in cadence and leg speed and that?
Yeah. I think I'm really worried to don't do track during the season, because I really worry to lose the speed on the sprint, you know. And if I come back on the track in the last few weeks, it's also for that. I have a big goal now in the last part of the season, and I want to be really powerful on the sprint, but also with good speed legs to try to win more race I can. So yeah, I always do the track in the training. So sometimes I don't do biggest race like World Championship or World Cups, because it's really hard to do winter and summer road and all the winter on the track. But yeah, still the track is on my schedule every period.
And will you be wearing gold shoes tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
Shoes for tomorrow.
Oh, okay, that's a shame. We like the gold shoes. You look great in the Tour of Britain wearing them last year. Okay, another question for you, Jasper, from Tom, asks, Tour of Flanders or Paris-Roubaix?
For me, Paris-Roubaix.
Which people are surprised to hear, because you're Belgian, but you've had success at Paris-Roubaix in the past.
Yeah, I think winning as a junior, even if it was only junior, yeah, I was world champion. You race before the pros, so there's a lot of Belgian people on the roads already who, yeah, even as a junior, it's the most crowds you experience at that age. So and they cheer for all the Belgians, and winning it in the world champion jersey was for me a really special day, and also made me love Roubaix more than Flanders. And still now I prefer that race. Yeah.
Back to London, and let's ignore Elia for a second, and Michael Matthews, who was here earlier. Who are you keeping an eye on in tomorrow's race?
Good question. I think it's all depending on, like Elia said, with Box Hill, how the tactics, how they will go. I think I'm also able to jump with a small group, because in the sprint I might not be the fastest, so I need also a harder race. So then yeah, I just follow the instinct.
So you would prefer the race split in two, of course, or maybe get up the
For
road
me,
and
yes,
breakaway?
yeah, I don't. For me, it doesn't need to be controlled too much, and too big of a bunch can be a smaller one or a smaller group in front. Yeah.
Ellie, I've got a question here from Federica. I'm guessing she might be Italian, given it's about being Italian. There are now quite a few Italians on Team Sky, Federica says. Who has the best English?
Oh. Me? No.
Good.
No, I think Puccio is a long time he is in Team Sky. So
Salvatore Puccio.
Yeah, Salva.
Yeah, he has the best English. Okay, simply answered. And also, Ben asks, you have an Olympic gold medal, which you mentioned there, for the Omnium on the track, and a Giro d'Italia stage win. Your home tour, of course, your home Grand Tour. What gave you the most satisfaction?
I think nothing is like Olympic Games. So the gold in Olympic Games is really a special feeling to win. So I think the gold medalist, yeah.
And in winning the gold, you beat our homeboy hero, Mark Cavendish, into silver. Unfortunately, he's not going to be racing tomorrow because he's injured still from his Tour de France crash. But you get on with Cav. What was it like after you beat him and got the gold?
Oh, I think we do two different roads before the Olympics. No, he win 4 stages in Tour de France, and I do all the period really specific work for the track, and I sacrifice a lot of the road race last season. But and after that, I think in only the gold medal can give me back all this work I do for the Olympics. So. I go there really confident to beat everyone, but you know, like crash or something can happen to and you can lose everything in one moment. So I think in these 2 days is when I feel strongest in my career. So I'm really on it, and I think for that is the best 2 days of my life. So. Maybe when if I win in my career Sanremo or stage of Tour de France, I can change this idea, but at the moment nothing's like Olympic Games.
Oh, enjoy it, and you were phenomenal those 2 days in Rio. Look, Jasper, final question from me to you, because I've been fascinated, of course, by Elia's shoes. I'm also fascinated to hear that you own a chocolate shop with your uncle. Tell us about that, because I can't imagine pro cyclists get to eat much chocolate during the season.
Yeah, I don't eat it a lot, but yeah, some riders have a coffee shop, and I have a chocolate shop, and yeah, my uncle has had a business before, and then he wanted to open a new one, and he came to me. He has been a fan of my cycling since I started, and I've been a fan of his chocolate since I was a kid. So it was a good match, and now. Yeah, now we have the business together, but of course I'm not there quite a lot. I just do more a little bit. I have, of course, with my name, it's good in Belgium.
And it's just Stuyven chocolates?
Just Stuyven,
okay.
Stuyven chocolates, and so cycling fans come around, and then we try always some specific chocolates, like for the Giro or with the Classics, or last year when I got the polka dots in the Tour, we made some chocolate jerseys in the polka dots. So
okay.
That's really nice, and it's my uncle who does all the work, let's say, and I try to do a little bit the social media around it. Yeah.
If you invent chocolate that doesn't melt in your pocket, then you'll be millionaires. That's the way to do it. That's the way to get cyclists eating more chocolate. Gentlemen, thank you both very much indeed. Do enjoy the race tomorrow, and enjoy the reception you're sure to get on the London and Surrey roads. For now, thanks so much indeed for your questions as well. That's me, Matt Barbet, wrapping up this press conference ahead of the RideLondon-Surrey Classic. Thanks for now.